Hello, my name is Andrew Bundrum. Today I will be discussing a Georgia landmark related to the American Revolution. I am here at the Old Clarkesville Cemetery in North Georgia, very close in fact to where I attended college at Truett McConnell University in nearby Cleveland. The cemetery was donated by Colonel James Brannan in 1831, and a Methodist church once stood in the center until 1881. Quite a few interesting people lie and rest here, including relatives of President Martin Van Buren, the father of a Civil War notable, W.H. Fuller, and several prominent citizens of Habersham County. 2 Revolutionary War veterans are also buried in the cemetery, Matthew Rhodes and R.D. McCroskey, along with the nephew of a famous hero, Colonel Joseph Habersham. The city in which the cemetery resides is named for 2 more Revolutionary figures, Elijah Clark and John Clark, his son. The southernmost and youngest of the colonies, Georgia had close ties to English rule. As a consequence, Georgians starkly divided on the issue of revolution. In 1775, Georgia followed the lead of other colonies when 19 resolutions by the Georgia Assembly questioned Parliament's right to tax the colonies and demanded justice. A Council of Safety was empowered to act on behalf of the state, and Georgia's legislature informed the Continental Congress of its allegiance. In 1776, Patriots arrested Governor Wright. After a scuffle in Savannah Harbor, Wright and the royal government sailed away. In summer of 1776, all 3 of Georgia's delegates to the Continental Congress voted for independence. A simple constitution was put in place by February 5, 1777. Back in 1775, as the struggle began, Joseph Habersham was among the first officers of the state's military force. In the early years of the war, Georgia attempted 3 expeditions to take St. Augustine, but all were abandoned in favor of raids. In 1778, the British returned in force to take Savannah. The capital remained in British hands for most of the war. Meanwhile, the Patriots moved their capital to Augusta, about 145 miles southeast of here. On February 14th of 1779, Patriots under Andrew Pickens, John Dooley, and Elijah Clark defeated 700 Tories at Kettle Creek. But in September of that year, a semi-coordinated attack by Benjamin Lincoln and the French Navy failed to dislodge the British from Savannah. The tide turned. In 1780, the British took Charleston after a grueling siege, and as 1781 began, Georgia appeared firmly under British control, except in Wilkes County and other areas of the back country where Patriots continued to wage guerrilla warfare until fortunes turned. Elijah Clark, under the command of Nathaniel Greene, sieged and recaptured Augusta in 1781, and by 1782 all but Savannah returned to the Patriot fold. On July 11th, the British finally evacuated the last stronghold, and Georgia gained security as a free state. Leaders like Habersham and Clark remained prominent in Georgia after the war as the United States became established. The citizens of Clarksville chose to preserve this cemetery because of its rich history. Even now, they're in the process of preserving it. The cemetery is small and unassuming. It is open to all who would come to see. Many young people may not perceive the importance of such a site, walking by without a thought. My research into this place has reminded me to take a more thoughtful view, to interpret the cemetery as a reminder of the individual lives represented by each gravestone. Some are well remembered, others' contributions may dangle on the edges of distant memory, but everyone here mattered. Each played a role according to God's will for that person's life. Up the road just a ways sits Wilbanks Middle School, where I did my student teaching. Although I did not take students on a field trip in my time there, I think a trip to this site would be meaningful. Students could be given research assignments on some of the people here, and then they might come to find the tomb and honor the memories of the people they studied. The cemetery here sits as a powerful reminder of the important role Georgia's citizens have played in the unfolding drama of history. Here lie bold revolutionaries, government leaders, and valuable citizens, all of whom built this state and this country. May we always remember our past as we progress ever forward in pursuit of the ideal nation.